Welcome to Running on Reddit r/Bridezillas, where the craziest brides and wedding stories are shared on Reddit. I had a friend, L, who was always a bit much, but seemed to have good intentions and a good heart. I had known her for 2 years when her boyfriend of 1 year proposed. Unfortunately, after he popped the question, the friend I knew disappeared. I wish I could write every single time she displayed being a bridezilla, and honestly, just an evil human. But we would be here for days, so I will highlight some key points. 1. Her sister had been engaged for 5 years prior to my friend getting engaged. The sister had scheduled a venue tour for the week after L got engaged prior to knowing about L's boyfriend proposing soon. L found out 2 days after she was engaged and went ballistic on her entire family, accusing them of stealing her spotlight and to being evil and inconsiderate of her time to shine. I had to entertain her anger, because if I ever disagreed with her, or even tried to calm her down, I would get her off. 2. She decided not to have bridesmaids, which sounds ideal but it wasn't. She named a bunch of us her unofficial bridesmaids, which meant the same thing, spending tons of money and wanting to pull our hair out by the end, yet no actual credit for the work we did, specifically me. 3. She was constantly whining about everyone and everything wedding related. She would obsess about the color shade of the napkins for days on end, sending a million text messages to us all stressing about trivial tripe like that. 4. Bragged every chance she got about how much money her engagement ring cost, $70,000, and their insane budget for the wedding. 5. Every single day consisted of me replying to her million texts whining about her friends and what morons they are, and would compare her relationship with her fiancé to their relationships with their partners, and belittle everything about them. She would act like she was emphatic to issues people were going through, but then she would screenshot the private convos and send them to all of her other friends and make fun of them and call them idiots. We all found out by the end that she had been doing it to all of us. 6. The worst of all was one of her best friends got pregnant during L's engagement period. L went off on her saying she was unbelievably selfish and didn't understand why no one could just let this year be her year. She was so mean to her pregnant friend, but even worse behind her back. A couple of weeks later, L's pregnant friend was rushed to the hospital for emergency surgery due to the pregnancy being ectopic. They had to remove one of her fallopian tubes. It was so sad and traumatic. When I asked L if she had gone to visit her, she said, "No, and I'm not going to. She shouldn't have gotten pregnant in the first place." 7. I was with my current boyfriend for about 2 years at this time, and L would constantly tell me that if he didn't propose soon, that he never would, and that I should break up with him. 8. They ended up spending $100,000 on the wedding. During the cocktail hour, L came up to me and said, "Ugh, I wish all these people would stop trying to talk to me. I wish it was just me and her now husband." I wanted to say, "Then you should have eloped and not put us all through hell." I tried to distance myself after the wedding so that things could naturally fade out. Unfortunately, she wouldn't allow it. If I didn't text her back, she would write me on Instagram. If I didn't answer her there, she would Facebook message me. So I had to tell her straight out that I didn't want to be friends anymore. She has since lost 3 other friends because of her behavior that started when she got engaged. It's really sad how people trade lifelong friendships for this bullcrap. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. Henry G. Bonds. A little backstory. I've had long hair several times since I was 16. I just prefer it this way. I take good care of it and keep it tied back when I go to work. When I first met my fiancé, it was one of the few times my hair was cut short. So I've grown it long again. And she keeps giving me a hard time saying she hates how I look, and if I had long hair when we met, she never would have dated me. She wants me to get it cut short for the wedding, still a year away. She jokingly threatens not to marry me if I don't do it, and I'm not 100% sure she's joking. She tells me if there was something about her physical appearance I didn't like, she would gladly change for me. To which I say, I would never ask her to change anything. My fear is, if I cut it short, I'll resent her for forcing me to do it. So, am I just too stubborn, or is she being too demanding? OP should really have a heart-to-heart with the fiancé to truly understand what is going on so as to not go down a path of no return. So, my best friend of almost 30 years is getting married for the second time. Her first wedding was spring of 2014. I was a bridesmaid, but did everything the maid of honor would have done, which she did recognize. They divorced summer of 2016. He was unfaithful. She's been with her new guy since the summer of 2018, and they have only been engaged since the 30th of August 2019, and she's asked me for help. A while back, she told me that I would be her maid of honor this time, but hasn't formally asked me yet. She's told me she wants to use the same color scheme as the first time. Same color dresses, flowers, etc. She even wanted to use the same locations for her engagement photos and didn't tell her fiancé that she did them with her ex-husband there. She also was considering using the same hairpiece and veil from her first wedding. Like holy bad karma. Now, I'm the friend who is very blunt and honest, and I know I can come across as harsh at times, but I flat out told her that it seems like she cares more about the wedding than her actual marriage. Like the show she puts on, and doing the trendy cute insta-worthy things are more important. So, I'm suggesting similar, but different color palette options and everything is I-ish. Or, absolutely not. I want purple. Like, homie, don't you want to do something totally different than the last time? You should have zero desire to repeat anything that reminds you of your ex. Also, why not make things as simple as possible the second time around? But no. I mean, she's been engaged a week and already being a maniac. I can't wait to go dress shopping. Am I crazy for thinking about backing out? The whole scenario sounds like it should be in the movie Groundhog's Day with Bill Murray, repeating the same self-sabotaging day over and over again. Let me know in the comments below, what is one of your favorite Bill Murray movies? Some background. I, a 22-year-old female, have always been close to my cousin, A, who is a 25-year-old male. Out of all of our cousins, we are the only ones without siblings, so A's always been an older brother to me. We have a lot in common, and get along really well. I'm really thankful for him. The last couple years, however, we've drifted apart. I still see him during the holidays and normally we spend that time catching up. And his wife, S, who is 27, have been together for 5 years and married last October. S has never really liked me. She constantly micromanages everything I do whenever we have family gatherings, such as me not washing the dishes correctly or my boyfriend's age. She also likes to make snide passive-aggressive remarks at me and the other women in our family. I usually just ignore it, since it's just worth it to engage with her. So, anyways, back in October A and S got married. My boyfriend and I went. The ceremony itself was beautiful. It was a big Italian-style wedding. Everything went smoothly. I was beaming the entire time and S seemed to be in a pretty good mood. However, later I guess something went wrong. It was held at a fancy hotel that had a few different venues, so there was another wedding going on that night, and the cake was sent to the wrong wedding. While everything was sorted out pretty quickly, this caused S to flip out, and she proceeded to get very drunk. After dinner, I proceeded to make his rounds to say hello to everyone. By the time he stopped at our table, he had been going around for close to an hour, so he ended up sitting down at our table and talking for a while with my boyfriend and I, since we were some of the last people he hadn't had a chance to talk to. It was the first time in nearly a year that I had seen him, so we ended up talking for a long time. At one point, my boyfriend got up to get drinks when S came over. She was still drunk when she came over to us. She told A he had to come back to the head table. I agreed, and as he went in to give me a hug, S shrieked at me, "Stop trying to duck my husband, you skank." Everyone in the area heard and turned to look. I was mortified. S then dragged A back to the table and my boyfriend and I immediately left. At the time, I thought leaving was justified. I got a voicemail from S giving a lazy apology where she said that she shouldn't have called me a skank, but she was drunk and it was her wedding day, so whatever. However, yesterday I visited that side of my family for the holidays and they wouldn't even talk to me and everyone proceeded to tell me and my boyfriend that we were extremely rude for leaving early. At first I figured they hadn't heard what S had said, but some of them even defended her actions and said I should have just stuck it out. They're all saying I ruined A and S's wedding day by creating a scene by leaving. I feel awful. I really don't know where I stand on this, so I to hear some objective opinions from you guys. Should I have just stuck it out? Am I being a butthole? That interaction with a drunk bride went from 0 to 100 real quick. Calm down, Missy. If you like the content and want to support the channel, like and subscribe right now, or you'll be running on fumes. I, a 24-year-old female, am getting married this October, providing Corona is over by then. One of my bridesmaids is my friend / cousin Mila, a 25-year-old female. For whatever reason, Mila has been gaining a lot of weight over the past few months, and I'd estimate she's up 30 to 40 pounds since last fall. We went dress shopping in October, and since I ended up picking a somewhat expensive eggplant velvet dress to match the autumn theme, I told my bridesmaids I'd pay. I'm pretty blessed financially, so I could afford it. Now, Mila has broken it to me that she grew out of her dress and will need a new one. Unfortunately, the style is not available in plus sizes and would need to be custom made if it's possible to get at all. I already paid for her dress, and I think it's inconsiderate for her to put on weight when she knows she won't fit the dress. She's honestly been really entitled in assuming I'll just figure it out and replace her dress at my expense. Plus, there's the bullcrap of calling a weight gain growing out of something, as if her own choices had nothing to do with it. I texted her last week and told her my issues. I said that I really wanted her in the wedding, but the dress was presenting issues. I gently asked her to go back to the size she was last fall. Well, she didn't respond, but she has been vague, posting about women who tear other women down and anti-body shaming stuff. So I'm pretty sure she's mad. What do I do? Was I wrong to even ask? Who is in the wrong here? The one who gained weight and now can't fit the dress, or the one who demands the other to lose weight so as to not pay for a new one? Tough. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe and turn on the bell or you'll be running on fumes. See you in the next video.